What does consistency hands? Hi guys, Daz here. What does consistency mean? What does it really mean? What does it mean to any of us? Now, one of the big things that's always spoken about, particularly whether it's business or being a YouTuber or anything, or maybe a hobby or practicing something, is consistency. If you consistently do something consistently, or persistently do something consistently, you're going to get the results. Now, whatever that is, so whether that's practicing a language, learning your times tables, clearly I've been doing some homework, or YouTubing, even if you're a daily vlogger, uploading every day, or if you've got a business and sort of doing the particular tasks consistently. And I think it's something that's easy to do, but consequently easy not to do. Now, being consistent can be a tricky thing. And what's, I suppose, got me on to doing this video or this topic is a good friend of mine, Brian Blasage, who I've spoken about before on this channel, kind of did a video the other day, it's almost like beating himself up a little bit about he missed a day vlogging. Now, the reason he missed it, because he's a daily vlogger, and he missed a day because the video he wanted to do, he had some ideas and wanted some equipment, etc., and that didn't sort of come together. And so he decided to rather than create a video that he wasn't proud of and just sort of turn any old crap out, like I do a lot, he wanted to wait. And so he made the decision not to do that, and that's totally fine. But he was then, he felt really bad for letting his audience down, letting himself down for not doing that. And so yesterday I didn't upload and I didn't produce a video, which was going to be this video. But ironically, and I just felt almost I put a post out on Facebook saying, I'm not uploading today out of support for Brian. But the reason being is really because almost to prove the point that, yes, I am back now daily vlogging, and my plan is to vlog daily, and I've got sort of topics and things I want to do, and I plan it to a degree. I mean, you could probably tell by my production level how much planning goes into my videos, but there is a degree of planning, and a lot of it is kind of I wing it quite a lot and then hopefully fix it in the edit. But the point is that I should be, for my own rules, should be uploading daily, should be daily vlogging. So yesterday I decided purposely not to, one, kind of out of support for Brian, but also to kind of, so then when I make the video on consistency, it's not quite as sort of, it almost proves the point about consistency, if that makes any sort of sense. So another reason, one was obviously I didn't upload yesterday because of this point over consistency, but secondly, I didn't just sit there and watch TV. What I've been, as part of this whole kind of comeback journey that I'm on, was, I suppose, to a degree, rebranding myself and seeing where I want to focus and that kind of thing. And part of that is getting all my various, whether it's kind of social media outlets and everything, website, blog, etc., all consistent, let's say that word again, with the same message. And obviously there's a number of, there's Twitter, Facebook, LinkedIn, they're kind of across the board, but the blog is, the website is the biggest one because that's got the most amount of different moving parts on there. Facebook and Twitter are easier because it's just a banner, whereas on the website it's the whole kind of vibe and the about me page, etc. So as part of that, I wrote out my story, and I've asked some friends to kind of rewrite it. I did put a post out, so can you help me to sort of rewrite this and make this look, one, less fluff, but also a bit more presentable and a bit better, so it reads better. That's one, but also just colours and all that kind of grunt work in the background that you don't really notice much overall, but actually you have to do it, and I hadn't been doing that. So what I spent yesterday evening, actually yesterday afternoon / evening, doing was all that back-end grunt work with the websites and kind of changing things and making consistent colours and blah blah blah, etc. It's by no means finished yet, but I've got a huge amount of work done on it. So I was very happy that I did that, not necessarily instead of vlogging, but because I sort of made that decision not to, but it sort of suited. It kind of brings my point together here in the fact that consistency is important. Consistency of tasks, and said if you're a daily vlogger, excuse me, if you're a daily vlogger, you're uploading daily. If you miss a day, it's not the end of the world. It's not, you know, the sky's going to come falling down, chicken licking, etc. When Brian made a point sort of, you know, about he felt bad sort of letting his audience down, and you know, if people are expecting your output and you don't, I don't think it's necessarily a bad thing as long as you explain why. Now I feebly, because I just said, oh, it's in support of Brian, but I think it's, and I don't have a huge audience yet, so it's probably not so sort of detrimental, but I think if you just do nothing and then disappear and then come back a few days later and do, then it's inconsistent. But if you're consistently doing something and then say, right, I'm not doing a vlog today, or I'm not producing this particular content, or I'm not doing this piece of work today because I'm doing this other thing, if that's in line with what your whole purpose, then it's fine. If it's not good if you're, I'm not going to be vlogging today because I'm going to watch some soap operas on TV. That is a bit crappy. But I'm not doing that because I need to work on my website, blah, blah, blah. Do that. You know, and that's based, and then you're doing a consistent effort for the bigger picture as opposed to just going one thing. Now I know all too well that just being consistently head down doing something and being oblivious to everything on the outside has a huge detrimental effect on your life, as I found out the hard way. So I'm sort of looking at everything as a whole. So I'm looking at, you know, obviously the daily vlogging, important to me as an outlet for creativity stuff and sort of to get my finding your passion and personal development value and message out there. But also it keeps me doing things daily. Now, yesterday I didn't do that, but I did do the website work, which is part of the bigger picture around that. So in my mind, I'm not beating myself up about it because I was still doing a piece of work in that bigger puzzle as opposed to just lying and having a snooze. So I think that's the key. Now, if you make a decision not to do a particular thing, that's completely fine. Don't beat yourself up about it, because as long as you're doing something that's part of the sort of the mission or the goal or the dream, then that's fine because you're still doing different parts. I said, if you're just going, oh, I'm not going to do it today because I can't be bothered, then you're on a slippery slope, because if you do one day, can't be bothered, oh, I'll miss another day, come back, miss 4 days, then it's all going to be over. But you know, not doing it one day because of, and then but because you want to do something else that's part of the bigger picture or the bigger puzzle, then that's completely fine. So if you do find yourself wanting to be consistent but you miss part X but you're doing part B, that's totally fine. You know, if you've got all these different tasks. Now ideally you want to be doing all of the tasks every day in your daily thing, but sometimes some things like, which aren't a kind of an everyday thing, like rebuilding a website or, you know, completely redecorating your photography studio, something like that just takes a lot more work and it's not something that happens every day. In those cases, if you're a photographer and your dream is to kind of build that into a business, redoing your whole photography studio is completely fine and not, say, vlogging that day, because it's part of the bigger picture. You know, if you're just going, oh, I went for a few drinks with my friends down the pub and didn't vlog, that's a bit weak. One, because you could have vlogged that and made it into this is my life, but also just to not do it and have some sort of crappy excuse, that's not good, and that's not going to work to sort of better your life and work towards your sort of happiness or your business or, you know, the whole thing. So that's my kind of thing about consistency. It's consistent, be consistent with your efforts with a view to the bigger picture, not just consistently doing one specific thing. If all you're doing is one specific thing, that's fine, obviously that's your thing, but often there is the bigger picture, and as long as what you're doing every day is part of that bigger plan, then we're Gucci. Otherwise, we're not. That way. So yeah, that's my squeaky chair. Promise, I'll sit still. So that's my sort of take on consistency, and consistency with in view of the sort of the bigger picture. I hope you got some value from this. If you have, I'd love you to leave a comment about what sort of, have you had any troubles with consistency, and how do you kind of get on with it? What had you sort of stop all those kind of, not demons, but the little voices going, leave it for a day. You know, what keeps you going with consistency? I'd love to hear from you. I do reply to every comment. If you haven't already, I'd love you to subscribe. It means the world to me when you do, because it's more sort of reason for me to keep making these videos and helping. So I'd really appreciate that. And if you do, just hit that, that's not even hitting, that's hitting. Hit that bell notification so you know when I release the video. And smash that like button till it's blue in the face. I say blue in the face, but it's more blue in the thumbs up, if that makes sense. And yeah, thank you so much for watching, and I will see you guys tomorrow. Bye-bye.